I welcome you all students for today's Maths class. In today's class, we will be dealing with a new topic called whole numbers. So here, I have given the solution for assignment sums. You can check your answers with it. So let's move on to today's class. As I said before, in today's class, we will be dealing with whole numbers. Think about the situation. Anika has 5 toffees and she has eaten up all the 5. Now, she will be left with how many toffees? Yes, she will be left with no toffees. In other words, we can say she will be left with 0 toffees. The number 0 is denoted by this symbol. It is believed that the number 0 was first introduced by Aryabhatta. Aryabhatta was the first in the line of great mathematician astronomers from the classical age of Indian mathematics and Indian astronomy. His famous works are the Aryabhatiya and Arya Siddhanta. The mathematical part of Aryabhatiya covers arithmetic, algebra, plane trigonometry, and spherical trigonometry, place value system, and zero. Knowledge of zero was implicit in Aryabhatta's place value system as a placeholder for the power of 10 with null coefficient. So, in the previous chapter, we learned about the counting numbers. So, the counting numbers start from 1, 2, 3, 4, and it goes on and on. These numbers comes naturally when we begin counting. Hence, we call the counting numbers as natural numbers. Let us consider a number line from 0 to 10. The numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, so on are called as counting numbers, and the number 0 is not a counting number. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on are called as whole numbers. So the whole numbers start from 0 and then it goes on. Representation of whole number on number line. Consider a number line from 0 to 10. The points O, A, B, C, D, E, F, so on till J represent the whole numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on till 10. So from the number line we observe that there is no whole number on the left of 0 and every number on its right is greater than 0. So we can say that 0 is the smallest whole number and there is no largest whole number. The next is a whole number is greater than all those numbers that lie to its left on the number line. Example, as 5 lies on the right of 2 on the number line, so 5 is greater than 2. Similarly, 7 is greater than 3, 11 is greater than 10, and so on. The next is a whole number is less than all those whole number that lie to its right on the number line. Example, As 2 lies on the left of 5 on the number line, 2 is less than 5. Similarly, 3 is less than 7 and 10 is less than 11. There is no whole number between any two consecutive whole numbers, and there is at least one whole number between two non-consecutive whole numbers. The meaning of consecutive is numbers are next to one another. Example: there is no whole number between two consecutive whole numbers 5 and 6. The whole number 5 lies between two non-consecutive whole numbers 4 and 6. So obviously 4 is less than 5 and 5 is less than 6. So we have 4 less than 5 less than 6. The whole number 5 and 7 lie between two non-consecutive whole numbers 4 and 10. Obviously we have 4 is less than 5, 5 is less than 10, and 4 is less than 7, 7 is less than 10. Successor: I have some fruits. I have strawberry, apple, orange, and banana. So, successor refers to something that comes after. Here, when you look at the above sequence, successor of apple is orange. Predecessor refers to something that comes before. Here the predecessor of orange is apple and the predecessor of apple is strawberry. So now we apply this concept in order to find the successor and predecessor of whole numbers. This is a number line showing numbers from 0 to 10. In this number line, we see that the number 6 is before the number 7. So the number 6 is called the predecessor of the number 7, which is a whole number. Do we have a predecessor of 0? No, we don't have predecessor of 0. Successor of a whole number lie just to the right of a number, and predecessor of a whole number. Successor: one more than a given whole number is called its successor. Thus, 1 is the successor of 0, 2 is the successor of 1, and so on. 0 is not a successor of any whole number. Predecessor: 1 less than a given whole number other than 0 is called its predecessor. Thus, 0 is the predecessor of 1, 1 is the predecessor of 2, and so on. 0 has no predecessor in the whole number system. Note: successor of a whole number is equal to given whole number plus 1. Predecessor of a whole number is equal to given whole number minus 1. 0 is not the successor of any whole number. 0 has no predecessor in whole number system. Here is a small activity based on finding the successor and predecessor of a given number. So the first one is find the successor for the following number. So the number given here is 9991. So the successor of a number is equal to the given whole number plus 1. So the number here is 9991. So plus 1 will be 9992. The next question is Find the predecessor for the following number. The number given here is 1011. So, predecessor of a number will be the given number minus 1, right? So, what will be the predecessor for the given number 1011? It will be 1010. Very good. Find the successor and predecessor for the following number. So a number is given, we have to find its successor as well as its predecessor. The successor of a number will be the number next to it. So the number given here is 5,31,010. So what will be the next number to this number? Yes, it will be 5,31,011, and the predecessor of the given number will be the number minus 1. That will be the number before the given number. So it will be 5,31,009. I hope you all understood how to find the successor and predecessor for a given number. Now we will do few problems. Write the whole numbers whose successor is 83 lakhs. The required whole number is equal to predecessor of 83 lakh. The predecessor is 1 less than the number, right? Therefore, the required whole number is equal to 83 lakh minus 1, which is equal to 82 lakh 99,999. The next question, write the next three consecutive whole numbers for the number 35,669. So, the next number of 35,669 are, you have to add 1 to the given number. So, it will be 35,670. The next number will be 35,671. And the next number will be 35,672. Write the consecutive whole number occurring just before 3,20,001. So the consecutive whole number occurring just before 3,20,001 will be the given number minus 1. So 3,20,000. The next question is, how many whole numbers are there between 99 and 300? The whole numbers between 99 and 300 are 100, 101, 102, so on till 299. You have to make a note here. When you start counting, count from the next number of the given number, and when you end, you should stop with the number that is before the given number. So the numbers given here are from 99 and 300. So the first number is 99. So you have to start counting from the next number. So 99 plus 1 will be 100. And when you end, the ending number here is 300. So 300 minus 1 will be 299. So the numbers must be from 100 to 299. Number of these number is equal to 299 minus 99. So when you subtract, you have to subtract from the last number, that is 299, minus the first numbers before number. So 100 minus 1 will be 99. So 299 minus 99 is equal to 200. So there are 200 whole numbers between 99 and 300. Fundamental operations on whole numbers. We are familiar with the four fundamental operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division on whole numbers. In this session, we shall learn some basic properties of the operations of addition and multiplication on the whole numbers. These properties help us to understand the numbers better and sometimes make calculations very simple. The properties of addition and multiplication are closure property of addition and multiplication, commutative property of addition and multiplication, associative property, distributive property, identity property, and cancellation law of addition and multiplication. Now we will see each of these properties in detail. Closure property of addition and multiplication. So the closure property is closed under addition and multiplication. When two whole numbers are added, we always get the sum as a whole number. Similarly, when two whole numbers are multiplied, the resultant will be a whole number. So here is an example. 5 plus 2 is equal to 7. So 5 is a whole number and 2 is a whole number. When you add 5 plus 2, you will get a whole number, that is 7. The next is multiplication. So 8 into 3 is equal to 24. 8 is a whole number and 3 is a whole number. When you multiply 8 into 3, you will get 24, which is a whole number. If a and b are any two whole numbers, then a plus b is also a whole number. This is called closure property of addition. The next is, if a and b are any two whole numbers, then a into b is also a whole number. This is called closure property of multiplication. Commutative property of addition and multiplication. Sum of the two whole numbers is the same regardless of the order of its addition. Product of two whole numbers is the same regardless of the order of its multiplication. So here is an example for addition. 39 plus 28 is equal to 28 plus 39. So when you consider 39 plus 28, when you add these two whole numbers, you will get 67. Similarly, when you reverse the order of the numbers and add 28 plus 39, you will get 67. So we can write 39 plus 28 is equal to 28 plus 39. So here is an example for multiplication. When you multiply 25 into 16, you will get 400. Similarly, when you change the order of the number and multiply 16 into 25, you will get 400. So we can write 25 into 16 is equal to 16 into 25. In general, we have, if a and b are any two whole numbers, then a plus b is equal to b plus a. This is called commutative property of addition. If a and b are any two whole numbers, then a into b is equal to b into a. This is called commutative property of multiplication. Next is associative property. While adding whole numbers, numbers can be grouped in any order. So here is an example. Here the whole numbers are 8, 13 and 6. So first they have grouped 8 and 13. So 8 plus 13 plus 6. So when you add 8 plus 13, you will get 21 plus 6, you will get 27. In another way also we can add by grouping 13 and 6. So 8 plus 13 plus 6. So 8 will come as it is, plus you have to add the numbers inside the bracket. 13 plus 6 is equal to 19. So 8 plus 19 will give you 27. In both the ways you are getting the same number. So can we write 8 plus 13 plus 6 is equal to 8 plus 13 plus 6? Can we write in this way? Yes. The next is While multiplying whole numbers, numbers can be grouped in any order. Here the whole numbers are 7, 9 and 5. First we have grouped 7 and 9. 7 into 9 will be 63 into 5 will be 315. When you group 7 and 9, you will get this answer. So when you group 9 and 5, 7 into 9 into 5, which is equal to 7 into 9 into 5 is 45. 7 into 45 will be 315. In both the ways, you are getting the same answer. So we can represent it in this form. 7 into 9 into 5 is equal to 7 into 9 into 5. So in general, if A, B and C are any three whole numbers, then we can write like this. This is called associative law of addition. The next is, if A, B and C are any three whole numbers, then we can write like this. This is called associative law of multiplication. Next is distributive property. Under distributive property, we have multiplication is distributive over addition and multiplication is distributive over subtraction. So first we will see multiplication is distributive over addition. Let us find 7 into 5 plus 11 in two different ways. So the first way is 7 into 5 plus 11. So first we have to add the numbers inside the bracket. So 7 into 5 plus 11 is 16. So 7 into 16 will be 112. The second way is we have to multiply 7 inside the brackets. So you will get 7 into 5 plus 7 into 11, which is equal to 7 into 5 is 35 plus 7 into 11 is 77. So when you add 35 plus 77, you will get 112. So in both the ways, you are getting the same answer. So we can write 7 into 5 plus 11 is equal to 7 into 5 plus 7 into 11. So in general, for the above example, it follows that if A, B and C are any three whole numbers, then A into B plus C is equal to A into B plus A into C. This is known as distributive law of multiplication over addition. The next is multiplication is distributive over subtraction. We have to follow the same thing, but instead of addition, here it will be subtraction. Let us find 6 into 13 minus 5 in two different ways. So the first is 6 into 13 minus 5. First we have to solve the numbers inside the bracket. So it will be 6 into 13 minus 5 will be 8. 6 8s are 48. The next is we have to multiply inside. So here we are multiplying 6 inside 13 minus 5. So we will get 6 into 13 minus 6 into 5. So 6 into 13 is 78 and 6 into 5 is 30. So 78 minus 30 is equal to 48. From the above example, it follows that if A, B and C are any whole numbers and B is greater or equal to C, here is a condition, B should be greater or equal to C. Because if B is lesser than C, then you will get the answer in negative sign, right? We should not get like that. So B should be greater or equal to C in order to get the answer in positive sign. If we get a negative sign, then the resultant will not be a whole number. So B should be greater or equal to C. Then we can write A into B minus C is equal to A into B minus A into C. The next is identity property. Additive identity. 0 is called the additive identity because when we add a whole number with 0, you will get the same number. So 0 is called the additive identity. Example, 6 plus 0 is equal to 6. You are getting the same number. Similarly, you can change the order. 0 plus 6 is equal to 6. So, if A is any whole number, then A plus 0 is equal to A is equal to 0 plus A. Because here we are getting the same answer even when we are changing the order of the number. The next is multiplicative identity. 1 is called the multiplicative identity as a whole number multiplied by 1 remains unchanged. Example, 38 is a whole number. When it is multiplied by 1, we are getting the same number 38. Similarly, we are changing the order. 1 into 38 is equal to 38. So in general, we can write if A is any whole number, then A into 1 is equal to A is equal to 1 into A. The next is multiplication by 0. The number 0 has a special role in multiplication. Look at the adjoining pattern. We note that at each step the product decreases by 5, so the last product should also decrease by 5. That is, 5 into 0 will give you 0, which is equal to 5 minus 5 will also give you 0. This is true for all the whole numbers. Thus, if A is any whole number, then A into 0 is equal to 0 is equal to 0 into A. So when you multiply a whole number by 0, you will get 0. The next law is cancellation law of addition and multiplication. First, we will see cancellation law of addition. If A, B and C are any whole numbers, then A plus C is equal to B plus C. We can write A is equal to B because when you bring this C this side, you will get minus C. So this C and this C can be cancelled. So we will get A is equal to B. For example, if X is a whole number, then X plus 5 is equal to 3 plus 5. We will get this 5 and this 5 can be cancelled. If you bring this 5 to this side, you will get minus 5. So we can cancel off minus 5 and this 5. So we can get X is equal to 3. The next is cancellation law of multiplication. If A, B are any whole numbers and C is a non-zero whole number, then A into C is equal to B into C gives A is equal to B. A must be a C must be a non-zero whole number. Okay, if C is 0, when you multiply A into 0, you will get 0. So C should be a non-zero whole number. Here is an example. If X is a whole number, then 5 into X is equal to 15. We have 5 into X is equal to 5 into 3. We can write 15 as 5 into 3, right? 5 3s are 15. You can cancel off this 5 and this 5. So you will get X is equal to 3. So this is called cancellation law of addition and multiplication. Hope you understood all the properties of addition and multiplication. Now we will do a small activity. Fill in the blanks to make each of the following a true statement. So here we have 3056 plus 0 is equal to dash is equal to 0 plus 3056. So this is the additive identity property, right? So when you add a whole number with 0, what you will get? Yes, you will get the same number. So 3056 plus 0 is equal to 3056, which is equal to 0 plus 3056. So if you add 0 plus 3056, you will get the same number. So the next is 33 plus dash plus 15 is equal to 33 plus 21 plus 15. This is the associative property of addition. So when you add 33 plus dash plus 15, you will get 33 plus 21 plus 15. Yes, 33 plus 21 plus 15 is equal to 69, which is equal to 33 plus 21 plus 15. So first we will be combining 33 plus 21, then we will be combining 21 plus 15. The next is fill in the blanks to make each of the following a true statement. So 366 into 0 will be equal to what? Yes, if a whole number is multiplied by 0, you will get 0. The next is 375 into 57 is equal to 57 into dash. This is the commutative property of multiplication. Yes, equal to 375. So 375 into 57 is equal to 57 into 375. So here 4 into 9 plus 7 is equal to dash into dash plus dash into dash. Yes, you have to multiply 4 inside. So 4 into 9 into plus 4 into 7. Find the following sum by suitably rearranging, and the given numbers here are 837 plus 509 plus 363. So you have to rearrange and find the sum. So you should combine numbers in such a way when you add two numbers, the resultant numbers one's place you should get 0. So I am combining 837 plus 363, so that when I add these two numbers, I will be getting 1200 plus 509. So 1200 plus 509 is equal to 1709. The next question is find the following products by suitable rearrangements. The given number here is 17 into 125 into 14 into 8. So which is equal to, you have to combine numbers in such a way that when you multiply two numbers, the resultant numbers one's place you should get 0. So I am combining 125 into 8. So I will be getting 1000, and then I am combining 17 into 14. I will be getting 238. So when I multiply 238 into 1000, I will be getting 2,38,000. Find the value of the following. The number is 658 into 42 plus 658 into 158. So here you can find 658 is common here. Okay, so we can take 658 out into multiplication of 42 plus 158. First we have to solve the numbers inside the bracket. 2 plus 158 will give you 200. So 658 into 200 is equal to 1,31,600. The next is, using suitable properties, find the following products. The number given here is 1396 into 99. So 1396 into 99. 99 we can separate and write it as 100 minus 1. 100 minus 1 will give you 99. So you have to use distributive property of multiplication over subtraction here. So 1396 into 100 minus 1396 into 1. So 1396 into 100 will give you 1,39,600 minus 1396 into 1 is 1396. So when you subtract, you will get 1,38,204. Now we will do a quick review. Why we cannot write the largest whole number? Yes, numbers are infinite, it goes on and on, so we cannot write the largest whole number. Can you tell the whole number occurring just before 10,001? Identify how many two-digit numbers are there between 9 and 90. Yes, there are 80 two-digit numbers between 9 and 90. How will you find the successor of a given number? Yeah, to find the successor, we have to add 1 to the given number. Why 0 is not a successor of any whole number? Yes, since whole number starts from 1, 0 is not a successor of any whole number. Is 0 the predecessor of 1? Yes, 0 is the predecessor of 1. Why whole numbers are closed under addition? Yeah, when we add two whole numbers, we will get a whole number, so it is closed under addition. Can we multiply two whole numbers in any order? Which property does it comes under? Yes, we can multiply two whole numbers in any order. This comes under commutative property of multiplication. Why 0 is called the additive identity? Yes, when we add a whole number with 0, the number remains unchanged. So 0 is called the additive identity. Here I have given the assignment sums. Submit your assignments in Google Classroom. If you have not joined the Google Classroom yet, please do join the classroom. Thank you.